88.9 KPOV, Bend High Desert Community Radio.
You're now rocking one-on-one with Raider Mystic KPOV. One-on-one with Raider Mystic KPOV.
One-on-one with Raider Mystic. Yay!
To me, there are three things we all should do every day. We do this every day of our life. You're going to have, what a wonderful, number one is laugh. You should laugh every day. Number two is think. You should spend some time in thought. And number three is you should have your emotions moved to tears. Could be happiness or joy. But think about it. If you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a full day. That's a heck of a day. You do that 7 days a week, you're going to have something special.
You want sports content that you've never heard in your entire life? Check me out every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
It's One-on-One with Raider Mystic.
We sit down, we have a cup of coffee, and we break it down for 60 minutes one-on-one with a sports athlete. Traverse the universe with me of sports as we interview all walks of life. We are just getting started. The only sports talk show in Central Oregon. I'm your guy.
It's One-on-One with Raider Mystic.
Long-range three. It's good! At the buzzer! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
One-on-one, go Giants!
¿Cómo llegamos aquí? No sé a cuántos pies de altura. Primera clase a Madrid. Acá arriba ya no hay cobertura. Siento que solo fue ayer. Le dije a mami que yo iba a volver. ¿Acaso otra vez? No sé cuándo la voy a ver. Pero mientras tanto andamos en jet ski en Mallorca. Mientras tanto estamos contando tortas. La que puede puede y la que no puede soporta. Mi gente está bien, manín, eso es lo que importa. Era para la baby, estoy haciendo Bailey. Pa' que suba los stories desde el Bentley. Sintieron la presión y ahora están pidiendo tenki. Esto blanco y negro, no me hablen de maybe, baby. Aquí corremos fino, digo yo no me inclino. Preguntan que si tienen chance, mejor ni opino. Yo los saco de la tumba, hablan de mí, los revivo. Dicen que debo favores, cabrón, sí me imagino. Si es que men, yo te vi afuera en la fila pa' mi show. Claro que sí, yo me acuerdo. Cuando hablaste mierda de mí, te pegaste a mi VIP, eres un pussy, pues. Y si me pillan saliendo desde la entrada de la Prada, creen que pueden leerme porque me han visto en la portada. Visa, apaga las luces, dejamos oscuras. Que mi gente prende los flashes y yo pido que los suban. Pero mientras tanto andamos en jet ski en Mallorca. Mientras tanto estamos contando tortas. La que puede puede y la que no puede soporta. Mi gente está bien, manín, eso es lo que importa.
Check. Yes, sir, we're live here. Live and direct in the studio. Young Miko is the artist you're tuned into. Young Miko. One of the hottest things coming up right now in reggaeton music. Did we already get a donation? Say what? Excited to be live here on the air. Saturday, March 16th. It's been a while. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. Step two. Got a special guest in the studio this morning. Coach Ryan Doty. Gonna let this song fizzle out right here. Just let it fizzle. Hope you're tuned in. If you're tuned in, you're hearing what I'm saying right now. We got a big morning. Got a big thing going on at the station too. It's the fund drive. And you know, just to get things straight right here, I gotta say this right off the top. I mean, we already got a donation, so I'm gonna give a shout out to Lisa from Bend. Lisa, if you're listening, from Bend, thank you for your $25 donation. And from what I understand, also, we got a match situation going on. So your donation to the station, I'm not trying to rap, but your donation to the station brings even a more positive vibration because it's going to get matched. So it's going to double up. So that's a positive thing for the station. So, the station costs about something around $20,000 a month, what I understand, to run. And so we're doing a fund drive right now for the station. So give us a call. I'm going to just open up with this. You're tuned in to KPOV, Bend, Oregon, BEND, 88.9. And the number here is 541-322-0863. So if you call right now, 541-322-0863, and make a donation to the station, bring a positive vibration, we match that because we're dealing with inflation. And we'll give you a shout out on the air too. I'll give you a special shout out, send you some love. But right now, the meat and potatoes of the day is we got Coach Doty, Ryan Doty in the house. How you doing this morning, Doty?
Hey, doing well. Raider Mystic, I appreciate you inviting me down here to the studio. This is a cool little spot you guys got here and being a part of the fundraiser. And man, I feel like we should be recording a verse onto a beat or something.
Oh yeah, you ready to drop a verse?
We might have to save that for another day, but
yeah,
cool spot.
I know they got the gear down here. They got the studios. There's a couple different studios right here. There's another room right there. And it brings up a reminder that you do spit some bars.
That was, back in the day, but moved on to some cooler things now with the coaching and things like that. But I do want to say I think it's really neat what you got going down here with the one-on-one stuff and shining a spotlight on the sports scene here in Central Oregon. I think it's important for our athletes and our coaches to kind of get a little bit of recognition for all the time and effort and hard work they're putting into the sports scene around here. So I appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, man, appreciate that. And yeah, it is. It's a grind. It's a grind. And nobody knows it more than the coaches that are grinding and putting all that work in. And yeah, and sometimes at the end of the season, you just get like a card with everyone's signature on it. As like your grand finale, like, hey, thanks, coach. A couple gift cards, maybe you might get a Starbucks card, something else,
we get, our parents and our athletes, they take good care of us. So.
Yeah, and that's positive, and it makes that or strictly organic, whatever the coffee house is, but it makes that coffee so much better too.
Absolutely. And speaking of grind, it's always fun to see, follow you and all the things you're involved in. And I see you out there. Of course, you've helped me quite a bit with the semi-pro football stuff, announcing, DJing, and then the arena football stuff. And then I see you out there announcing high school sports and reffing high school sports, and of course doing your shows, the concerts, and then the Born, Bend, Oregon Raider Nation.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff, man.
I don't know how you keep up, but I don't know if I've ever told you. I think you were one of the first people that I ever met when I moved out to Bend. I was new to the area, and I was telling my wife, I was like, man, I need to get out in the community and see what's going on out here in Bend. And I came across one of your flyers. It was a Bend, Oregon Raider Nation, and so I went and checked out an event. I think it was at the Volcanic Theater, I think it's called, and went down there and met some fellow Raider fans and saw you doing your thing over there. And then it's just kind of cool. 10 years later, we're here talking sports together, and it's just a neat way that sports can make those connections. So it's kind of cool.
That's awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah. So that goes back to the Volcanic Theater Pub was the first home of the Bend, Oregon Raider Nation, where we used to stream it on the theater screen and see football players 10 times the size of normal people. That was fun. The streams don't always work, but after that season, we went straight to real satellite television.
Moving on up.
But yeah, a computer stream on a negative 10-degree day sometimes just doesn't fly, but we put the love behind it and made it work. And yeah, to any promoters or anybody throwing anything from music to sports events, like Coach Doty just said, he came across a flyer. It was probably a little piece of paper that was probably hanging at the burrito shop. And, you know, I'm still a big fan of when you're promoting something, you know, you really got to hit it at all levels. You know, now there's all the social media and you can pay for advertising and all this stuff. But the real grip on the street level is to actually get like little pieces of paper up everywhere in all the different restaurants and venues. So it's always, people are always seeing it. So they always have the opportunity to get involved or to do not deal with any of it.
Well, it worked for me.
It's in their eyes.
I found you guys, so.
It's in their eyes like a 3-point shot. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man, congratulations. I know, so you just finished the Mountain View basketball season. You're the head JV coach and always there with the varsity, always helping all the boys out there for the boys basketball team. Had quite a run. I know, as you stated at the basketball banquet, the JV team is it's an interesting team because they're always rolling through, and you don't know who you're going to get sometimes, or who you're going to get for a certain game because varsity might want to take them.
Mm-hmm.
Any thoughts on that? Anything you want to say on that?
Yeah. I mean, I think being a high school coach in general is challenging, especially at the JV level, in the sense that, you know, you don't get to work with the same group of kids year in and year out. And so, you know, there's always that transition period. And I think, you know, like this year, I had a completely new team aside from 2 players. And so it takes a while to mesh with those kids and find out their strengths and weaknesses. And as a coach, you're trying to figure out what type of style you're going to play. Is it going to be aggressive and fast-paced, or are you going to want to slow it down and play half-court sets and things like that? And so that's always the challenge each year, but, you know, it keeps you on your toes, and I really enjoy it, and preparing those kids for the varsity level. And at Mountain View especially, I've had such a great experience there for the past 9 seasons, and look forward to keeping it going, man.
Yeah, and I know that you have a good legacy going on, too. You know, the kids all love you, and something that you spoke on also at the basketball banquet, that's how you have connections with your previous coaches, too, and how you like to have that. Not only just being like a friend and a mentor for these guys, and continue to have a relationship throughout time, that where someone can hit you up with a question or play a little one-on-one or something. and I know that you also do as your job, you're like a mentor also for.
Yeah, Friends of the Children, Central Oregon. And so being a professional mentor with them kind of goes hand in hand with the coaching stuff. It's a really cool, unique position to be in. And, you know, if you know me, like I said, the mentoring stuff is just as important to me as the X's and O's on the court and stuff like that. And so, you know, just having the opportunity to teach the kiddos the life skills that come with sports is really cool. You know, just as far as hard work, teamwork, communication, being held accountable. You know, you got to be organized, and all the things that go into that. It's really nice to be able to give back to the kids and teach them some of those lessons. And you mentioned, you know, I still have a coach from middle school and high school that I'm able to reach out to, and you know, I consider him a friend of mine. And so that's kind of what I strive to be as a coach. Also, it's just someone that we create such a strong bond with those athletes that they feel comfortable reaching out to me sometime if they ever need anything, advice, or just want to catch up and hang out. Yeah, you mentioned one-on-one. I saw you got a hoop outside there. We might have to get after it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a challenge, huh? So, yeah, there's a hoop out here on the side parking lot here at the radio station. And it's actually provided by the school district that we also work with here. And it's an opportunity, and let's segue right into this, a great opportunity for the program they have over there for kids that could use a break every now and then for them to play some basketball, play some sports, because when you put a little time in, you do a little work, then you get to have a little fun on the court, and you might be able to beat your teacher.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't think any of my players are beating me, but
oh yeah? Oh, snap.
That's a joke, because I think I got my hands full there. But
I know Mason thinks he can just crush me now,
I
but
bet he does.
we haven't had a 1v1 for a good year or so. So unleash the dragon. Let's. I look forward to it now that the weather's nice and you can just play anywhere outside again.
Good luck with that.
But yeah, that'll be fun. And then so you were also with the varsity crew for the state championship run. Got to go over Mountain View. Had a classic away game, playoff game at Crater, that the winner goes to the state championship, losers out, and Crater's a pretty energetic atmosphere too. Oh, the phone lines are blowing up.
Uh-oh.
Hey guys, just a reminder too before we get into this that we're doing a fund drive right now, and a KPOV board and anonymous donor is offering to match your donation. So they'll match the next $450 in donations today. If you make your donation between now and 9 a.m., your donation will be doubled instantly. You can do it online at kpov.org or call directly at 541-322-0863. That number is 541-322-0863. We appreciate it. Respect, one love, big ups. So at Crater Lake, not Crater Lake, but Crater High School. I've never been there before. Have you ever been there before?
No, that was the first time for me being in that gym and making the trip. And gosh, what a trip it was, driving over there through the blizzard and trying to make it home through that stuff.
Yeah, that was another level of Oregon driving. It took me 5.5 hours one way and about the same the other way, and I couldn't see anything.
I feel your pain there, but what a cool experience it was for us. At the beginning of the season, your goals are always with the team, and as a coach, is like you set out, we want to make playoffs, right? And then, of course, we want to win that first playoff game and make it to state. The last thing we want to do is make it to playoffs and then go out in the first round and fall short of state. And that first round of playoffs, it's always a little bit of added pressure because you want so badly for those seniors and those boys that have worked so hard all season and throughout their high school career to have the experience of going to the state playoffs and having the opportunity to play against the best top 8 teams in the state and to battle for a state championship and all that, and to create those memories, and that's what it's kind of all about. That's the big payoff for the athletes and the coaches. And so we ended up not quite getting a home playoff game that first round. So on the road to Crater we go against a really great athletic team over there, and what an exciting game. I mean, it came down to the wire. They ended up hitting a buzzer beater.
The place blew up.
Oh man!
I thought they lost, and then the ball bounced around a couple times. It was a classic shot.
Yeah, somehow hit the front of the rim, ended up popping up and going through the hoop.
Just fell right through the middle.
It was crazy.
Reminded me of a Joel Embiid shot in NBA playoff game, I've seen a couple of those buzzer beaters also.
Yeah, and so that thing goes in, right? And then it's like, oh no, we're going to overtime on the road against a tough team. A little bit of added pressure there, but we had a tough team this year with a couple stud seniors with Quincy Townsend and Ian Prichter, with some good role players as the underclassmen and things like that. So we were able to stick with it and squeak out a win in the overtime victory. And I actually think your son, Raider Nation Mason,
I remember him.
Yeah, he pulled through. He came through in the clutch with some really big free throws down the stretch, a couple big shots, and we ended up winning that game, and it was an awesome celebration in the locker room afterwards because, it's just like, okay, that's the big goal. Is now we're on our way to the state playoffs, and what an exciting moment for Mountain View basketball.
Hold on, it wasn't looking like the Raiders locker room though, was it?
No. No cigars.
We weren't chopping up stogies and
No. We had to act like we've been there before, So we saved that stuff for maybe the semi-pro.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
or the arena. Yeah.
Yeah. But that was an awesome game. And it went into overtime. Mountain View wins away. And after talking more to more people about Crater, they seem to kind of have a dirty reputation as being kind of dirty from some people I've heard, or that it's a hard gym to win in also. And some of the dads, I thought maybe we were going to be facing like some 7-footers or something from the size of the dads I saw. But I don't think the kids are quite there yet.
Well, they just watching them in warm-ups, right? They had a couple guys just doing some windmill dunks off the backboard and stuff like that. So definitely a tad more athletic than us. But, I think they just got a good fan base that supports them. And, of course, their parents are passionate and everything. And it was a rowdy gym. But, that's kind of high school sports for you. There's so much passion, and everyone's involved, and everyone wants the best for their kids, and so that's kind of the way it goes sometimes.
And then, so with the win, Mountain View advances to the state championship, and then we're at the state championship, and first thing that I saw when I was there was I ran into, myself also being an official, I ran into 3 officials from Bend that made the cut, and we're there for the 5A tourney, and they were, sprinkled throughout all the games and the championship too. I know Cheyenne was on the female championship game. I saw Marcus LeGrand out there doing games. He did one of the Mountain View games also. But the very first game, of course, another matchup that we got to do again. Mountain View Summit, and it was close.
Yeah. Shout out to the IMC there, right? We had some officials representing, and then of course three teams from our league with Summit and Redmond High, and then Mountain View. So we represented pretty well over there of officiating and the teams making it to state. And of course we get over there and, we're matched up against the number 1 team in the state, a Summit. We had played them 3 times already this season, and they got us all 3 times. But, we had a great mindset going into the game, right? It's just like nothing to lose. I felt like all the pressure was on Summit, with them being ranked so highly, and the expectations were so much higher for them. And so, we went in there with a great attitude. We had a great game plan. Our boys really did execute it just the way the coaches asked. It was a good game. I think we had the lead at the end of the first. We were probably down by 5 at halftime, and then a tight game down the stretch. And that's kind of what we wanted, right? Let's just keep it close into the fourth quarter. Pressure's going to be on Summit, but they really did step up. They had some of their role players make some big shots down the stretch, and they ended up beating us by 2 points. But and then Summit clearly goes on to win the state championship. But we played them tough, and nothing to hang our head about. It was a great game and a good experience for us.
Yeah, I was impressed, and Yeah, close to the first round knockout. But and then of course, if you lose that game, you have to immediately wake up and play a game first thing in the morning. And that was another good team. They had some good players that stuck out to me, and that came down to the wire with the last second shot, possibly sending it into overtime almost.
Yeah, that's the difficult part about losing that first game in the tournament is we get stuck over on the consolation side and in the early morning breakfast bracket. So we're playing at 9 a.m. I think it was the next morning after kind of a big emotional letdown from the Summit game, and matched up against a really really tough West Albany team this year. They had some good athletes on their team. They always play really hard, and we came out and it was a close game down the stretch. I think we tied it up with some free throws in the fourth, and then West Albany ends up hitting a 3-point shot, I think, with right around 4 or 5 seconds left in the game, puts them up 3, and we get a shot off at the buzzer. It was a close shot, didn't fall, but a really good game down the stretch, and 0-2, but at the tournament, but you're playing against the top teams in the state, and both close games. So I thought we represented the school in a good way.
Yeah, no, it was anybody's game, either of them at the very end. So congratulations. It was a hard fought battle. I know sometimes those just 2-point games are even tougher than losing by 20 because you're right there and you put so much into it. But it was a fun season, and now it's on to the next, and we get to see what happens with like Quincy and Ian and what they do with basketball and the other guys too, and see where they end up and get to follow them. I've had fun following Tane, also in college. Another previous Mountain View player, and as well as the other players, the players for Summit, and anybody else that chooses to go down a sporty path.
Absolutely, yeah. We've had some great basketball players come through the Mountain View program last handful of years, and so it's definitely nice to follow them, keep up with them, and see how they're doing in their college careers and things like that. So that's part of the fun about being a coach is you get to make those connections with those guys, and it's a good time.
And I think I heard it right. Quincy is the all-time leading scorer in Mountain View history?
I believe so, yeah, amongst other things. I think he's got a long list of accomplishments. Yeah. That's kind of comes with the territory of being a 4-year starter. He's put in, I don't think I've ever seen a high school athlete work so hard towards their goals and put in so much time in the gym. He really led by example that way, and I think it paid off in that with the individual accolades and things like that, but also just leading the team into 2 appearances in the state tournament, which is really awesome. And so hats off to him. I'm really proud of him and what he's able to accomplish. What a great athlete.
That's Quincy Townsend from Mountain View High School. If you're tuning in right now, I got Coach Ryan Doty in the room with me. We're live on the radio. I'd like to give a shout out to Joan. Joan. $25 donation. Your $25 donation got matched. Ching, ching. $50. And Jones from Bend. The goal here, we're trying to get 40 G's. Just 40 G's. And we're at 23,410. 23,410. We are trying to work our way up to 40,000 for the station. It takes about 20,000 to run it a month, and keeps the Bend community radio station flowing for shows like this. Pretty cool, where we're able to bring in the coaches and the athletes and talk to anybody that we want to, that wants to come join us and get their word out and share their music and share their knowledge of sport and all that. And side note, if you're over in the Primeville area, there is a fishing derby today.
Ooh.
Out there in the Ochicos. Get out there. You're probably too late already because I know the sign-ins were at 8 a.m., but just letting you know, out at the Lake Ochico, they got a fishing derby thrown by the Crook County crew out there. And the weigh-ins are at 3:30 today. You got to be in line by 3:30 with your trouts to win the big money. I don't know what the prizes are. I'm sure they got some lures and stuff like that. But big fishing derby going on today, and perfect weather for it out of the blue.
Yeah, no doubt. I think maybe that's something that we can get into next is fishing, right?
Yeah, that's the direction we're trending. Hashtag trending towards fishing. And I got the boat. I just need a little bit stronger of an engine on it now, so I can also water ski with it. But it can go fishing. So I'm going to try to fire that up later today. Test it out. But, hey, I got another donation straight in. I appreciate you. Stacy calling in with a $60 donation. Boop-bing, boop-bing. Match that at 120. That's 120. We still got $340 left in match price. So I'd really like to try to get this knocked down before my show's over. If you're out there and you're tuned in, you can even call in $5, $10, $20. Whatever is comfortable for your palate and for your pocket. Appreciate the support. So the phone number is 541-322-0863. If you call in right now at 541-322-0863 and make any type of donation, we will give you a shout out. I'll even sing you a song. You never know. I want to give a shout out to Bebop Biscotti in Redmond, Nancy Peas in Bend, and Great Harvest in Bend for helping keep donating treats to us. Also, just one more thing on the donation deal. So if you donate $120, you get a t-shirt. If you throw down $240, you get a hat and a t-shirt. And if you do, the phone lines are ringing. Come on, guys. I mean, what else could you do right now? Just give us a call. $15 a month or $180, you get a Bluetooth speaker with a carabiner. Is that what that's called?
I don't know, man, but it looks cool.
It looks good. I think it's it's one of those like clips, like if you're hiking, and then you're climbing Smith Rock, and you're like Alex in that one movie. Have you seen that one about him climbing that rock at Yellowstone National Park? The dude that free climbs. The movie's called Free Climb.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
You'll be sweating at the end.
Is that right?
This guy free climbs. It's like, don't ever try this at home kind of thing. Really edgy, but
yeah, it's cool what you guys got going on here, finding that community support with the donations and everything. If you guys are listening right now, I would love for you to call in so I can hear Raider Mystic sing you a song one of these days.
Snap!
Yeah, call in and say hello.
I spoke too soon.
Drop a donation, appreciate it.
Yeah, so if you friends with Coach Doty and you make a donation, I got a little song for you. But appreciate you on the show this morning, Coach Doty. So Coach Doty here has done quite a few things in the Central Oregon area. You're doing football camps for kids. You're doing 3-on-3 basketball tournaments. I believe so. You're doing this under Central Oregon Athletics is the name. Is that correct?
Yeah, you got that right. Central Oregon Athletics. It's something that I started up last year, and actually you helped me do some stuff with it last year with the 3-on-3 tournament, things like that. But it's something on the side. I don't know what do they say. it's not work if you're doing something you love. And so it's part of it's a little bit selfish as to where I want to be able to stay involved with competitive stuff, playing in the tournaments and doing the flag football leagues and things like that. But, the main thing is just to provide more outlets for the kids in our community to be involved with sports. And so through that, we got, different flag football leagues. We're doing football and basketball camps, tournaments, and things like that. And so it's a really neat program. Central Oregon Athletics. You can check out the website at www.coajustplay.com. We actually have a football camp coming up over spring break on the 26th and 27th.
Yeah, let me see here. I think I have some of that information. Just, you got the 26th and 27th. It's out at Spud Bowl Park. Spud Bowl.
Yeah, man. It's a cool little park.
Who named that park?
I don't know, but it's a cool spot.
Sound like someone KFC came up with.
Hey, we got a great staff. We got a great coaching staff mixed with, some of myself and some of the other high school coaches and players that I've met along the way, and then some of my semi-pro athletes coming out to help out, and same with some arena football players. And so the kids just get an awesome experience. It's a lot of fun. And so if that's something that you would like your kiddo to be involved with this spring break, you can look it up on the website at coajustplay.com, or you can email us at info@coajustplay.com, or just find us on social media, Central Oregon Athletics. We're on Instagram and Facebook, so you'll find everything you need right there.
Yeah, Central Oregon Athletics, cool group of people. Cool, like he just said too. You got different athletes that are the different coaches, different athletes. Coach Doty's friends of the friends of everybody here. He's got support from all his previous football players that he coached. It was the High Desert Storm.
Yep.
Coached the High Desert. So he was the head coach of that High Desert Storm semi-pro football team that was at the Deschutes Fairgrounds for a couple years.
Yeah.
No more, right?
No. So they've actually kind of moved over to the Salem area, rebranded a little bit, and
is that arena football now? Is that them?
Yes.
Or that?
Yeah, so the High Desert Storm, it was professional arena football that came to Redmond for a few years, and just with me being a local guy and being involved in the semi-pro world, had a couple connections there, and then ended up on the coaching staff with the Storm doing the arena stuff at the fairgrounds, like you had mentioned. And that was a really cool experience too, going from doing the semi-pro stuff at Pilot Butte Middle School to kind of getting the keys to the Expo Center and doing that on a bigger stage in the indoor arena with some higher level athletes.
Yeah.
It was really cool. But they've since moved. They moved over to the Salem area, kind of rebranded. There's a team over there now called the Oregon Black Bears, I believe, and Coach Delvin Miles is still helping out with that. I know he's been on the show before.
Yep.
He's also going to help me with the youth football camp this spring break.
I figured that was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What's up, Coach Delvin?
D Miles.
DD.
Yeah, good guy, man. A lot of sports background for him.
Yeah, he's got a lot of energy in the sports.
He's perfect for the camps, man.
Yeah. He really likes the sports, man. I mean, I've never seen nobody post so much stuff on social media consistently about all kinds of sports. So you're deep when you're posting stuff about your high school or all the college stuff. Like, I mean, he's in it. He's in it to win it. Like Heineken. Man, I'll never forget that Kid Rock show I saw on Salem Armory one time. That was crazy. But they almost had to cancel the show before it started. That was crazy. But so that original football team that was at Pilot Butte Junior High.
Mm-hmm. That's the Central Oregon Outlaws.
Central Oregon Outlaws. So you were doing your own, running your own team. Were you playing on the team too?
A little bit of both. Yeah. So when before I moved out to Central Oregon, I was pretty heavily involved in the semi-pro football world with playing and coaching, and then eventually was a co-owner of the league with my good friend Thuggy Bear.
Thuggy Bear.
Yeah, Thuggy Bear's the man.
I saw him at the state championships.
Yeah, he came to support us like he always does every year. And then so moved out to Central Oregon, and there was nothing. There was no semi-pro football, no adult football going on that I could find. And me just wanting to stay involved and be competitive. I had to start a team on my own, so we started up the Central Oregon Outlaws, and we had a really good run. A lot of good athletes, made a lot of good lifelong friendships out of it. Some good memories. We kept that thing rolling for about 5 years, and then that kind of eventually led me into the professional arena football stuff after that ended. And so, yeah, what a cool experience. And that's kind of how we kind of hooked up a little bit with inviting you out there to DJ and announce the games, and a cool little setup there at Pilot Butte. It was a good time to get the community out there, and then and then same thing with the arena stuff. Had you out there DJing and announcing that.
Yep. I appreciate that, and that was fun. It's the same way that you spoke on it, like the Pilot Butte thing was fun. It was fun because I was announcing and DJing.
Yep.
and that was fun.
Making you earn that.
That was fun. Rain, sleet, or shine. Out there on the aluminum bleachers, up in the little, actually where I had to set up, I had to climb up in there too, in that little box up there at the Pilot Butte football field. That was fun. And then it goes from that to the next level, to an actual indoor arena type vibe. And there was at one point, when the season was going good as it was getting close to the end, starting to fill the place too.
Yeah,
there were some good moments there
for sure. It went from a couple hundred people at Pilot Butte doing that to a couple thousand people watching the Storm play at the fairground. So really cool.
And one of those Storm teams were really good.
Yeah.
They were pretty dominant, had some big players. It was fun to watch. But hey, I got a couple more donations. Got to give quick shout-outs. Susan, with your $25 donation. They matched it. That's $50. Got a message here. Thank you, Raider Mystic, for keeping us updated on local sports.
Yeah.
And thank you, Susan, for listening. Appreciate it. And I got another one here from John. John. I think I know who this is. He's an avid listener. He's a Beaver.
Okay.
Just so you know, Coach Ryan Doty comes from OSU.
Yep.
As well, John. John gave me some live updates on the phone from Beaver tailgates before on my show.
That's awesome.
And he also let me use his tickets at a Beaver game once or twice. So appreciate you, John. John says he would like to hear 30 seconds of Ken Stabler.
Yeah.
And, I got that queued up right here, John. Let's get you dialed in. I got you 30 seconds. This is a song that we recorded about Ken Stabler. That's 10 seconds right there. And you know who's it? That's Stacy there singing in the background. Oh.
Number 12, Raiders originator. Way before getting was the legend
Stabler. All right, that's 30 seconds for you, John. Appreciate that. Remember, we got this fun drive going. We got like 12, 15, 16, 17 minutes left. We still got money to match. We got $290 left. So match it up, scratch it up. Let's hatch it up. All right. And we got the Jones family fresh out the box. A shout out with your $50 donation. The Jones family from Bend. Appreciate you guys. I believe I know who you are. I grew up with you guys. I was at their football parties growing up as a kid. They're 49er fans. But I would have appreciated you let us know how bad Garoppolo was before the season started previously. Garoppolo now Los Angeles Ram So thank heavens for 7-Eleven and Jimmy G going to L.A. for a 1-year plan because, man, that guy, I just don't think he's good. You got any thoughts, Ryan Doty, on Garoppolo?
Oh, man, not a whole lot. I mean, I wasn't too excited when we ended up signing him. You know, I figured it was, what do they call that, the Band-Aid approach, where we're just trying to get by. And, of course, we all saw how that worked out and, on to the next. So I hope he does well over there with the Rams.
Yeah. Good luck. Yeah, he gets these fast little feet. And when he does that, I know that he's just going to throw a bunch of trash up in the air. I mean, you got Devontae Adams that you just got to get it within like 20 yards of him.
Mm-hmm.
Just get it. I mean, he'll run to wherever the ball's at, even if it's a horrible throw. But he just couldn't even get it. Couldn't even make it.
Couldn't figure it out.
Some crazy stuff. But the Jones family, big shout out. Appreciate that donation. They want to hear a song. You know, it didn't really specify if they were talking about me singing or not. So, but appreciate that donation. And we're still doing this. We're taking donations. We're only here for 15 more minutes. They'll match the donation still. We still got funds to match the donation. Call right now, 322-0863. That's 541-322-0863. 541-322-0863. And yeah, they're telling me to sing now. Okay, this is for you, Jones. I got 20 seconds. Here you go. How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good times that made us laugh always be sad. Yeah. Okay, that's all you got.
Hey.
If you can name that tune, donate $10 more. 541-322-0863. Well, I'm not going to tell you.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that one because I think there's a different version of that song from like Master P or something.
Oh,
that's
really?
A little more explicit.
Yeah,
So good job on that.
I was keeping it boys to men. I wasn't going to take it into the Keith Sweat era. But that's a good one, man. Keith Sweat, he needs to come back, make a couple more tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Twisted, yep, that was some classic stuff. So I appreciate all these donations, guys and gals and everybody. I got this book in the mail, Deion Sanders, Elevate and Dominate. And I highly recommend it. So if you're looking for a good book, if you look it up, it's out there. Elevate and Dominate. Deion Sanders, 21 ways to win on and off the field. And why is it 21 ways? Because he wore the number 21. But I'm just going to read you the first sentence from this book, just so you understand how he speaks to the reader. Because I didn't know what this book was going to be. And then I read the first paragraph, and I was all in. This is Deion, first sentence from his new book, Elevate and Dominate. Hey, baby, it's Coach Prime. Thanks for picking up my book. Let's cut to the chase. Here's how this is going to go down. I don't want to lecture. Let's have a real conversation. That's so much better, so much more intimate. I'm guessing you're interested in this book because you're looking for answers, and that's why you're here, right? Well, we'll get to those in a little bit, but first, I got a few questions for you. And I was laughing out loud. I'm like, oh, so Coach Prime is just going to be like talking directly to me for like hours and hours and hours, telling me things and trying to coach me.
Oh, that's awesome. I might have to check this book out, man. I'm always looking for something new to read. I think I just finished one. It was a Phil Jackson book.
Phil Jackson, yeah.
It was all right. But no, Coach Sanders, I appreciate the way he's kind of stepping into the college football world, and he kind of like embodies all that confidence and the swagger and things like that I think is important. So
fun.
Fun. It's exciting.
Having fun. It's different. You know, a lot of people hate on it too, but I think they're a little more old school too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's definitely flashy. But it's outside the box. And that's what he's saying in his book too. He's just like, y'all can live, in this little square of this is how we've been doing it forever, or you can pop out the box and come and help me bring $20 million a game to your community and sell out your seats for the first time in 20 years, and we can have fun and try to make something happen. And it's a true hero story coming from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from where he came from, if you read the book and see where he's going to and see what college he coached and how he moved up from that. I mean, he just came out of nowhere and all of a sudden was the head coach. Someone gave him an opportunity, and sometimes you don't get that opportunity. So you never know what the next step is. And that's where I look forward to seeing what happens with you and your coaching career and like what steps you fall into the future as well, and see what kind of. Now, were you coaching also football over in Redmond?
Yeah, I was coaching football in Bend at Mountain View for a few years, and then my family and we ended up moving out to Redmond, and so, and at that same time, my oldest son decided he wanted to play football there at Ridgeview High School, so thought it would be kind of weird to coach against him in high school football, so ended up connecting with Coach Pileggi out there at Ridgeview. Did a couple seasons there at Ridgeview High School with the football program there. Had a good time, and then just needed a little bit free up some time, a little bit more time during the summer. So the Obsidian Middle School job opened up, and I dropped down and did some 8th grade football last year. Just a little less time commitment. It was a lot of fun. Get to work with a different age group, and my youngest son is coming up through the middle school ranks right now, and so it was a cool opportunity. But yeah, I'm still doing some football stuff, some middle school football out there in the Redmond area, and having a good time with it.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sure they're having a good time too. And now your youngest son, JJ?
Yep.
JJ. What grade?
He's 6th grader right now.
6th grader. JJ's a cool dude. I see him everywhere. He comes out, helps out with stuff, and always a happy kid.
Yeah, we had him out there showing him the ropes. He was helping with the books during the Mountain View basketball games this season and last season, and kind of learning the game that way, and started playing some hoops himself this past season, and he really kind of fell in love with it. So that's cool to see, and it's fun, keeping up with him. Now he's doing his soccer stuff, and so on top of my sports and coaching and things like that, of course you gotta stay involved with the kiddo and be there for him, and it's exciting to see what his journey brings him in the next few years.
Yeah, for sure. And soccer, man. Yeah, my kid has a soccer game in Aloha today. 5th grader, one off game. Like, we used to do like go over there for those, like tournaments. You play a couple games, play another game the next day. But I'm not really feeling this 5th grade. Like, you got to travel 6 hours round trip for one game, and then some of the kids, there's a bench too, so they're playing like half the games, and it's a lot of work for such a young level of sport.
Yeah, it's pretty serious these days, and once the athlete signs up and commits to a season, it's just as much of a commitment for the parents, and so it is a lot. We travel over to the valley quite a bit for soccer as well, and other sports and stuff, and but I just keep telling myself it goes quick, right? I had a senior, my oldest son, move out this past year, and so I'm just kind of enjoying the parenting and running, chasing after my middle schooler right now, because it flies by, as with Mason being a junior right now in high school.
Right. I know. And seeing that at the end of the season basketball banquet with Coach Townsend and his son, and seeing the emotional stuff that's transferred, relayed, and stuff on what they're doing there, and knowing it's the last speech and the last this and that and all that.
Yeah, it goes quick, and before you know it, they're graduating high school and moving on.
Well, I think we're ending the time of the show here. I gotta cut out a little early to get the next show lined up. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in today, and Coach Doty for joining us. I appreciate Deion Sanders for sending me an autographed copy of his book, Elevate and Dominate. And just a reminder that on spring break, if you're interested in keeping your kids active, make sure to check out that Central Oregon Athletics. They'll be running the football fields out there. But hey, I got a special shout out. I was not expecting this one. Shout out to Ryan Cruz, head coach of the Caldera Wolfpack, which just came in with a $50 donation. So shout out to you, Ryan. We do have that shirt. I know. I'm trying to remember exactly what it said, but Rylan went to one of the Wolfpack Caldera camps that they did for kids, which was cool. But I think the whole underlying thing of this was putting these kids in their Wolfpack shirts.
Coach Cruz, appreciate it, man. Heck of a season you guys had. Keep up the good work over there.
Yeah, Coach Cruz, thanks for listening. Appreciate that. And shout you out. Shout out to the Wolfpack. And we'll be on the courts all season together next year, too. Blowing whistles and playing basketball. Well, that's it for today, everybody. Appreciate you tuned in and listening. Appreciate Coach Doty for coming through. Remember, that's Central Oregon Athletics. If you want to keep your kids involved in some cool stuff, I believe I got some basketball stuff probably coming too. And just look around in your community too. We got, I know Caldera does stuff as well. Everybody's always throwing stuff for the kids. So shout out everyone. Thanks for listening, and have a good day.